So while I'm chiseling this area around the chain plates away, the chain plates rusted, literally just breaks. You know what happens if you're sailing and that happens? That thing comes down. Not good. I quickly took the halyard off the mast and tied it down here so that I have an extra support now to hold the mast, because I'm very afraid that if the other ones break, then my mast falls over. That's not good. 4 years ago I crossed the Pacific Ocean as a crew member on different sailing boats, going from Panama to the Marquesas Islands, French Polynesia, Tonga, Fiji and eventually New Zealand. I knew nothing about sailing before. Now it is time to continue on my own boat. I just came back from meeting some friends on another boat to my boat, and it was heavy rainfall and the whole boat is leaning towards the right, towards starboard. Look at that, I'm holding the camera straight. This is straight, not this. This is straight. What happened here? I just cleaned out the bilge. 2 minutes it ran because of the rainwater. Must have a leak somewhere. The dinghy was almost all the way full with water, and my petrol tank now is half full, which it definitely wasn't. So I don't know, water came in somehow. So I thought maybe the dinghy is pulling the boat down. So I emptied the dinghy and that also wasn't it. So what happened in the morning, I found out, oh my god, so stupid. Like the tarp filled up and it was like a couple 100 liters of water just like pressing on the tarp and just heeling the boat over. I'm like, why didn't I see that in the night? In the last video I worked on fixing the rotten core on this side of the boat, all the way from there till there. Let's hope the other side is better. I'm going to start over here and then, depending on how bad it is, work further aft to the back. Just seems to make more sense to start the smallest part first, the most difficult part, and then moving up to the wider part. Well, this part looks very good, that's nice to see. So let's work for the back. So while I'm chiseling this area around the chain plates away, the chain plates rusted, literally just breaks. You know what happens if you're sailing and that happens? That thing comes down. Not good. So very quickly I took the halyard from the mast and put it here for extra support of the mast, because if another breaks, the mast can fall like that. That is not good. I'm so happy with the help I've gotten lately that I'm doing this, because this would have been at a certain point, probably not too far from now, a serious problem. Oh my gosh, look at this. This bolt is just broken. That's terrible. This one too? Jeez.
How much do you love BoatTube? Although I will say this, we'll talk a little more about this. You're going to be glad that you found this now instead of found this out here.
This and this is not good, huh?
Yeah, no. That is
It's not what it's supposed to be, huh?
definition of catastrophic failure. Bolts would have broke, chain plate would have either dislodged from the bulkhead, or the bulkhead or the chain plate would have actually just ripped off like it did, and probably the mast would have came down.
Just know that this boat was advertised as ready to go immediately. I've been cutting open places that seemed like soft spots on this side. As you can see, the wood here actually looks really good, even though it makes some noise, but the wood looks really good. Definitely need to pay a lot of attention to these chain plates now.
this is I suspect you might have all three of those chain plates be just like this. The reason is they use that fiberglass to seal right up next to the chain plate. And this is what we described when we were using the butyl tape the other day.
Yeah.
And that butyl tape keeps that fiberglass come right in it, because if you let fiberglass come right, resin specifically come right up against the chain plate, it'll starve it of oxygen. And then if any moisture ever finds its way, which it always will, it's on a boat, there's nothing it can do except for eat that stainless away. And that's, where's your chain plate?
It is.
That's
here.
literally what you're seeing right there. So I'm not saying that this is 100% catastrophic because it's a forward stay, and if it's this one, you absolutely lose your rig. However, because this one is like it is, I suspect all three of these are compromised. I suspect the first time you got out there and you were on a tack where the wind was coming over your starboard side, right? And this side is stretched out,
yeah.
I would suspect the actual mast would have just toppled over.
Shit.
Yeah, that's but the good news is it's fixable. It is, you're finding it here when it's in the safe spot. I mean, this amounts to replacing these chain plates, which is really about probably here $100 US
per chain plate.
But you got to do it. You're so glad. You don't know it yet, but you are so glad that you did this here and looked at this now. What we can do is we can loosen up those that mainstay over there a little bit, so it's not pulling so hard that way.
Okay.
That way, if it does, because a mast, even with just forward and aft supports, won't fall over unless it's really windy. But it gets windy here at night, so you want to have it you want to have a support this way.
But the support doesn't have to be really tight now.
It doesn't have to be super tight. This is when I said black. If you look at this, it's not actually brown or anything. It's actually pieces of black in there, and that's the equivalent of the cancer for a stainless steel.
The good thing is I'm not going to have too much deck work here. That is nice. A little bit less grinding fiberglass feeling, 1,000 needles in my body. But let's address this before I will be demasted and not have a very good time on the ocean. We're going to first start with the lesser important one, that one. So this one is fine now. It's got a nice edge around it, free. So now let's do the main one, the dangerous one. I'm sitting under this tarp because it is so hot, the sun. No! Ah! No! Alright, I'm just gonna buy a new chisel because it dropped in the water. I don't know if you saw it on camera. Hola. Esta es 5, ¿no? Sí. Dos con tortilla para llevar, por favor. Okay. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego. So the chain plates are free. The space around it is free. That one too, and that one too. There's a little bit of wetness here and here, and also here. So these parts I'm gonna take off now. So now I'm going to put boodle tape around it, around here, so that when I fiberglass, that the fiberglass absolutely does not hit the plate. And then later when I renew these plates, I'll take the boodle tape out and I put sealant around it. This weather is not convenient for fiberglass work. I have this really different thinner piece of fiberglass, so I'm gonna put that in here now because I think it will be a lot easier. I hope it doesn't rain today. It looks a bit cloudy. This cuts a lot easier for these small parts. And this side is done. The small pieces are pretty good up to level. I found out that the chain plates from the front stay, the holes in it are at a different location than the other ones. So I'm going to take this back one off. It's really loose anyway, so it's not holding anything right now. It's not supposed to be loose, but it is loose, whatever. I'm going to take the plate off and see if that matches to the rigging of the four stays at the back. Look, also this one just broke when I took it out. Alright, let's see if this is the same as the others. This one seems the same. No, so they're all... This is the same as on the other side, but every one, the holes are at a different spot. So I need one of each to make them. Maybe I'll first do these and then later the other one. Maybe that's a better idea. I cannot continue with the chain plates until I have new ones. So let's maintain the dinghy engine. First I got to take out the old petrol, put a new one, because for some reason due to the rain, rainwater came into the tank. This fuel line of the dinghy just looks horrible. Horrible. Here too. Let's replace that when I'm busy with this anyway. I found this one, which is an old spare, and it's old, but the lines are still good, so I'm gonna reuse them. Okay, that's looking good. these holes here, I guess they are for air to come in and water does not go through, I guess, right? I put the fuel tank in my dry bag, kind of defeats the point of having a dry bag, but I didn't have anything else, so let's walk to the gas station. I never showed you the view of the Rio. So behind those bushes is where my boat is parked. That's a little marina over there. This is the river. That's where Ram Marina is. It's a really big marina. And this direction leads to the ocean and down the river. So these holes are apparently for some kind of gouge, which is not there. I think there might have been a sticker over it, but the water washed it away. So I'm going to seal them. Also a tiny bit of leak here, so I'm going to take it off again and seal around it too. Change on my Suzuki 6 horsepower engine. I don't know when the previous owner lastly did it, so I think it's wise to just do it as soon as possible. It's 700 milliliter of oil. This is exactly 500. You're supposed to be able to see how much oil there is in here, but I don't know, I don't see anything here. The spark plug looks pretty clean to me. I'm just gonna get a grinding paper just to clean it up a little bit. Now this should be the gear oil over here. There's the top one and there's a down one. I have to release that one and I actually have to fill it from the bottom one, which I've never done before. That is like white oil. That's not supposed to be white, is it? It's about this pump, because I have to pump it from the bottom up, apparently. Here it comes. Before finishing this video, I would like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody who is or has been supporting me in the past. I think my life is pretty amazing, and without all of you, this would not have been possible. So thank you. See you next time. A big thanks to my patrons who make it possible for me to keep making these videos. If you'd like to become a patron too, check out the link.